Before we get started, 87% of you are not subscribed, so if you enjoy this video, please hit that subscribe button. To build Clone Wars mocks, you need clones, so I'm very happy to announce that Grandpa Clone Customs sent me these custom pad printed clone troopers for me to use in this video. These clones are amazing and feature printing that matches the design of the official LEGO clone troopers, meaning that these clone troopers blend in perfectly with the rest of your clone trooper army. He sent me 3 different types of clones, which are the Kamino Guard, the Doom Squad Trooper, and the 187th Battalion Trooper. Whoops, wrong figure. So I'm going to make mocks that suit these clone troopers. GPC also sells a bunch of other clone legions and non-clone figures like this sexy Ventress figure, so I would definitely recommend that you check out his website, which I'll link down below. Kamino is one of the coolest planets in Star Wars, but because of the unique shapes and scale of this planet's architecture, it is not a planet many LEGO builders choose to tackle, so I decided Kamino would be the first battle I build in this video. During the Clone Wars, there was a battle that took place here, but I decided I wanted to create a scene that takes place during Order 66. I began by building a simple base for this mock, which consists of some black plates with a row of black bricks and tiles surrounding the sides. I then built up the floor to the desired level with more plates and began tiling off the floor. I tried to base this mock off a few different Kamino hallways, so I made the majority of the floor white with a black line running down the center of the hallway. I also began placing curved bricks for the bottom of the wall, and I laid out where the doorway would go. The floor is now complete and I'm really happy with how it's looking so far, so I got straight into building the wall. I began building the wall off camera because there was a lot of trial and error, but I ended up deciding on a design that mixes a snot technique as well as regular brick stacking to achieve this smooth finish. It was important to me that I captured these little indent details on the wall, as well as the grey stripe, but now that I decided on a design I like, I completed building the left wall, and I think it turned out great. Then I built the right wall, and now it's time to build the doorway in between the two walls. I came up with this design using curved parts, which I think blends in really nice, but now I need to come up with a design for the door, so I used a bunch of light grey masonry parts as well as black tiles to create a door that was in the process of opening. Now that the mock is done, all I need to do is place figures, so I placed 2 Kamino Guard clone troopers from Grandpa Clone Customs, and I added Shaak Ti as she was a Jedi stationed on Kamino during Order 66. I set up a cool fighting pose and added a shocked Kaminoan walking in on the unexpected battle. I think this mock looks great, just as long as you never turn it around, and I would love to create a larger Kamino mock including rooms like the clone barracks and training room, so let me know if that's something you would like to see in the comments. One of the best arcs in the Clone Wars is when Fives finds out about the inhibitor chips, and that all starts during the Battle of Ringo Vinda, so I wanted to create that battle out of LEGO for the next mock in this video. The hallways of Ringo Vinda have a very unique shape to them, as well as a light pattern that is hard to create out of LEGO, so I'm going to need to use some tricky techniques to pull this mock off. I started by building a base for this mock similar to the first mock, however this time I placed some of these bricks with studs on the side as I'm going to be building the entire floor of this battle using the snot technique. I began building the floor out of dark grey bricks and added some hinge parts so that I will be able to attach the wall to the floor on the required angle. Now that the floor is done, I began building the wall. To capture the detail of this neon blue light on the wall, I used a mixture of trans blue plates as well as bricks with studs on the side to accurately capture the look of the walls. Unfortunately, it does leave a small gap here, but I couldn't come up with a better design that leaves no gap, so I continued building the rest of the first wall panel and attached it to the floor. Luckily, the other 2 wall panels were much easier to build as the neon blue light just runs straight up the wall, so I built 2 more wall panels, ensuring I continued the black border around the sides and attached them all together. I then attached the floor to the base, but the problem is the hinges are very loose and don't hold themselves up, so I turned the mock around and tried to come up with a solution for the wall to hold itself up. Luckily I left these plates protruding on the back, so I attached all 3 wall panels together and ran bricks down to plates attached to the base. This works pretty good, but just like the Kamino mock, make sure you never look at the back of this creation. Now that the hallway is built, I placed the GPC Doom Squad troopers and placed down some battle droids for them to fight, and here is the completed mock. I think this battle looks pretty cool, but I'm honestly not that happy with it. I think the walls are too big and the gap on the wall bothers me a bit, but time is running out on this 24-hour challenge, so I had to start work on the final and largest battle of this video. The Battle of Mandalore is by far my favourite arc from the Clone Wars, which means that it overshadowed another great Clone Wars battle which took place in the 7th season of the Clone Wars, and that is the Battle of Anaxes. For the final battle of this video, I'm going to create the Battle of Anaxes, which takes place in a Separatist warehouse. The most memorable part of this battle is Mace Windu's speech, so I'm going to include the Mace Windu figure from the clone fighter tank in this mock. I began building the base on one grey base plate, as well as this offcut of a base plate which was left over from my underwater LEGO Star Wars Mon Cala mock. I placed 2 layers of bricks around each side, and I tiled off each side of the border. I then wanted to build this part of the floor, so I did that using a snot technique and these yellow wheel guards from one of my first LEGO sets ever to create the yellow paint we see on the floor. I'm pretty proud of the way I did this, and then I started to attach this to the base of the mock. I did that by building a layer of bricks around the side of it to hold it in place, and then I used these bricks with studs on the side to lock it in position. I also put a row of grill parts around the sides, and I got straight into laying the rest of the floor. I elevated the whole mock using brick supports and plates to raise the floor to the required level, but I left this section out as I built these dark red shipping containers that will go in that spot. I built 2 of them, and I tried to match what we see in the show as close as I could, and I think I did a pretty good job. I also built these olive green containers we see in the battle, and I placed them in front of the shipping containers, and I began tiling off the entire battlefield. I randomly placed studs on the ground to add detail, and also to provide somewhere for the battle droids to stand, and now that the whole mock is tiled off, it's time to place the figures. The 2 Jedi who took part in this battle were Mace Windu and Obi-Wan Kenobi, so I placed them on top of the shipping containers, and I placed 2 12th and 187th clone troopers throughout the mock. I also placed a bunch of battle droids, and with that the mock is done. I really love how this mock turned out, and I hope you guys do too. Here's all 3 mocks next to each other, and I'm really happy with how this 24-hour challenge turned out. This video wouldn't have been possible without Grandpa Clone Custom sending me these amazing clone figures, so please check out his website now. Comment below which mock is your favourite, and if you want to see more of my mocks, click this video where I make my own version of Snoke's throne room, which is 100 times better than the official LEGO set, and this video where I build the biggest LEGO clone army I can in 7 days.